What's happening, YouTube? Firms here. I didn't realize these things existed before now, but apparently, yeah, there's tier lists. This is the DC Joker tier list maker, and the Joker's my favorite character. And this is the selection we have. So let's go ahead and go about it. Let's see what we got. All right. So I think this first guy here is from the 70s, like the Super Friends stuff. I'll be honest with you, didn't really watch the Super Friends. So right off the bat, he's gonna get put into the D tier. Zach Galifianakis as Lego Joker. I'm guessing that's who this is supposed to represent. Um, to be honest, I didn't watch the Lego Batman movie. I didn't care to. And I don't know what kind of nuance he brought to it. So for me, just because he's, you know, a little bit better than this guy, he's gonna go in the C tier. The Killing Joke Joker. The guy who crippled Barbara Gordon. Yeah, not gonna lie, that's S tier level Joker. We're talking the quintessential Joker story. The story that can be named as the definitive Joker origin story. Or could it be? We don't know. But that's the beautiful thing about that story. And it's one of the best Batman books ever written. And it's what made me a Joker fan. Yes, I know it makes me weird. I don't care. All right. So now we have the Cameron Monheim, the guy who played the Joker, eh, Jerome Valeska, the Valeska brothers, whatever. Both of them wound up being the Joker. I actually enjoyed this performance up to a point. Um, I thought when they did where they cut his face off and he had to put it back on, homaging the comics, was excellent. Loved it. In fact, that's funny because if you look lower there, that guy's on here. So, but for him, I'm going to put him in the A tier. Jeff Bennett, or as a lot of people would probably know him as Johnny Bravo, as the Joker in Batman the Brave and the Bold. I will be 110% honest with you. Never watched it, but I've seen clips and I like Jeff Bennett. So I'm going to put him in the B tier. Okay. If you know me, you know me, and you know me, and you already know. Anything Mark Hamill is automatically S tier. But if I'm going to put them in order, do what I want. There we go. There you go. No matter what, Hamill is the definitive Joker. You're not going to fight me on this. You won't. I'm not kidding. Hamill is the Joker, hands down. And I know there's a lot of people that agree with me on that one. His performance in Batman the Animated Series, S tier, number one performance, hands down. The next best performance is Batman Beyond Return to the Joker, one of my favorite movies of all time. And yes, I said movies, not animated. I said movies. Um, then the Arkham games, the ones that he was involved with, the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight, not Origins because that wasn't him. And then yeah, the Killing Joke. Okay. Next, this is Brent Spiner, who a lot of us would know as Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek Next Generation. His version of the Joker from Young Justice. I'll be honest, I watched it once. Sorry, Brent. You're getting C tiered. Now, this one I'm not really sure of, and because I don't know that, I'm just going to put that one in the D tier. Now, John DiMaggio as the Joker in the movie Under the Red Hood. John DiMaggio did a fantastic job in his own portrayal of the Joker. I am not a Mark Hamill purist by any stretch of the imagination. I think John DiMaggio played a perfect character in that movie, and therefore, he is A tier. Heath Ledger, A tier. Reason being, Jack Nicholson is S tier because that is who my first. Actually, no, my first interpretation of the Joker, actually, surprisingly enough, isn't even on this list. And I just realized the Lego Joker Batman one that I have on here now is not the Zach Galifianakis one. So that one's just going to go down to the D tier because this is the Galifianakis one, and that's going to go C tier. Okay. Um, I just realized that there is a Joker that is missing from this entire list. The Joker that's missing is Cesar Romero from Batman 66. They're missing Cesar Romero. They've got Joaquin Phoenix. They've even got Jared Leto. Uh, where's Cesar Romero, guys? What the fuck? Because honestly, if Caesar was on this list, he would actually make Heath like right there with Heath for A, but I would probably put him at more so in the B tier. That's just me personally. Okay. The Dark Knight Returns version of the Joker played, I believe, in the animated movie that they did of the graphic novel, played by the guy that was in Lost. Very sadistic character, lost his entire love for killing and anything like that after Batman retired because just like Mark Hamill said in the Man Who Killed Batman, um without the Batman, crime has no punchline. And I think this version kind of took that literally until he came out of retirement and it woke him back up. And then he went on the spree that he went on. Now, it wasn't a huge spree. It was a mediocre spree, but it was one final thing. And then he got one little final twist in him at the end there. But for me, he will go in the B tier. Now, I'll be honest with you, this looks like this is the anime Joker. I think never, never watched the anime one. So he's gonna go in the D. In the D. Ha! I do believe this is the version of the Joker from some fighting games, including Mortal Kombat 11. That one I would give a C. And then we have the Joker that kind of changed how he was because the Joker originally was a sadistic killer, just a cold-hearted killer. But then the Comics Code Authority came along because people felt that comics were getting too dark. So they changed him to more of being what he was in the 66 TV series. More of a prankster, more of a kind of situation. He wasn't so dark and grim, but then the 70s came. And in the 70s, Neil Adams got a hold of him and decided to bring him back. And there's a infamous story that ran through Batman called the Joker's 5-part revenge. And it's all about the Joker going back to his homicidal ways. And it's what renewed interest in the character and kind of led to a huge renaissance. So for me, just from a comic purist, S tier. Now, again, if you don't agree with me, any of my ratings, please feel free to put a comment down below in the comment section to tell me where I went wrong. Or if you totally agree with me, all right. If you want to say praise be to Mark Hamill, that's great. I don't really care. Now this next one, I think is the like kind of alternate universe version of the Joker. I think it might even be, I think Martha Wayne from the Flashpoint universe. But again, D tier. Just because I haven't watched the movie because I absolutely refuse to because like I guess I am kind of a Joker character purist. Joaquin's D tier. I just don't care. I didn't care to bother watching it. He's the same thing with Leto. Same exact thing with Jared Leto. Like there's no middle ground. There's no middle ground, man. There's none. There's just none with in my opinion for those two, none. No thank you. Not my cup of tea. Now, this is the one that we have that is the original Joker from the 1940s, the one that started it all. I'm going to put him in the B tier because he wasn't fully fleshed out yet as a character. It wasn't until Neil Adams got a hold of the Joker that he really, really started to become more of like the crazed maniacal character that we know him as today. And that's been portrayed so many different ways and different times. The original Joker was just kind of like, he was based on a silent film character. So they made he looked just like him. If you look at the original comics, Batman #1 from 1941. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments because I'm probably wrong. All right, moving on. We got two left. My all-time favorite Batman creative duo was Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder when the New 52 hit. A lot of people were not fans of the New 52 when it launched. It was DC's way to try to revamp their entire, because comics are getting stale and they always got to revamp shit. And DC is known for this whoppingly much. They have rebooted their universe, I think, 6 times at this point. This was another attempt for them to do that. And out of all of the titles that got rebooted, the only one that was the most successful and that was consistently good were the Batman titles that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo were writing. In that whole thing, we got a whole new character villain group called the Court of Owls that was fleshed out, that was a legitimate threat to not only Gotham, but Batman and Bruce Wayne as a whole. You follow it up with the Joker storyline. That's if you remember, for anybody who doesn't, when the New 52 started, the first comic that was the first official launching point was Detective Comics #1. So it was a Batman title. At the end of that issue, the Joker had the doll maker cut his face off. And that's how the New 52 kicked off. And then for a year in the comics, nobody heard anything about the Joker. Same thing in the Batman comic. You didn't hear anything about the Joker. Nothing was mentioned. It was all about the Court of Owls. And then out of nowhere, this guy shows up at Gotham PD to recover his face, which is why he looks this way. One of my all-time favorite designs for the Joker, and just an interesting way to flesh him out. And with Greg Capullo's artwork showing that with each issue, the skin on the Joker's cutaway face that he has strapped to his skull with leather hooked straps, mind you. He has them showing it rotting. Every issue, it's a different pigment, it's a different color. And it, to me, S tier character. It actually eclipses The Killing Joke and Jack Nicholson. It's right up there with Hamill as one of my favorite portrayals of the Joker. And then finally, we have Kevin Michael Richardson, who is a very well-known voice actor. You guys would know him probably as the voice actor of Trigon from Teen Titan and Teen Titans Go. When the Batman series launched on the Kids WB in the mid-2000s, they revamped the Joker. And originally, he had a completely unique new design because Batman found him in Arkham Asylum, so he had on a straitjacket motif. And I'll be real with you, I was cool with that design. He played him more aloof, but he was more of like an actual combative threat to Batman. Like he knew like monkey fu or something like that because he fought like, I think there's a style of kung fu that's monkey. I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was a decent portrayal of the character. I enjoyed his interpretation, but my favorite one was the first one, the first episode, because I liked the new design for the character. They did eventually go to him having the traditional tuxedo with the spats. He still was barefoot, but he had a tuxedo with like fingerless biker gloves and stuff. So they kind of changed it up a little bit from what they had originally designed. For him, I'm going to put that performance in the B tier as well. So to wrap up, S tier is anything Hamill, followed by New 52 Joker, followed by Killing Joke Joker, Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and then the Neil Adams 1970s Joker in the S tier. In the A tier, we have Cameron Monaghan. I'm probably mispronouncing his name as the Joker from Gotham, the show that was on Fox. We have John DiMaggio as the Joker from Batman Under the Red Hood, and Heath Ledger. Nothing else needs to be said. In the B tier, we have Jeff Bennett as the Joker in Batman the Brave and the Bold. We have the Joker version from Batman the Dark Knight, the comics. We have the OG Joker from Batman issue 1, and then Kevin Michael Richardson's performance of the Joker in Batman, the Batman from the WB. In the C tier, we have Brent Spiner, uh, his performance as the Joker from Young Justice. Then we have Zach Galifianakis from the Lego Movie and the Batman Lego Movie. And then the Joker as portrayed by, I do believe, Troy Baker from the fighting games, I think Injustice and Mortal Kombat 11. In the D tier, we have the Joker from the Super Friends, this unnamed Joker that I have no idea about, the Lego video games Joker, the anime Joker, I'm guessing Martha Wayne Joker, and then Joaquin and Jared Leto. So, guys, again, that is my tier list for the Joker characters as it was here. Like I said, they missed out on Cesar Romero. If you think there should be any other ones, put them down in the comments and give this video a like if you like it. And guess what? If you like the content, hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.